Welcome to our 50th episode of ThreadTalk Podcast. I'm your co-host, Denver.
And I'm Teresa.
And today we've got a bunch of Reddit stories. We are back in our normal grind.
We're back.
To celebrate 50 episodes of this journey, the theme for today is r/ThreadTalk Podcast.
Woohoo! We don't know what we're naming it yet.
That's the name.
Oh, is it? That's not that creative.
No. It's classic. It just represents exactly what this is because it's all write-ins on our subreddit for ThreadTalk Podcast. So if you want to tell your stories and let everybody know and for a chance to get them on the podcast, just write them up and post them on r/ThreadTalk Podcast.
Maybe we'll do it again for episode 100.
Maybe.
But yeah, we've been compiling a bunch of your stories. That's why we haven't read them on the pod for other themes for a long time. So
we've been saving them for one big episode.
Yes. So it's not going to be one theme today. The theme is your write-ins.
Exactly. I've got 7 stories. How many you got?
I got lots. I got more than 7.
We're going to have some that definitely spill over into our Patreon episodes. So if you guys are joining us on Patreon, thank you for all the support. Everybody who's bought the merch, thank you guys so much. Everybody who just drops a like button down below or drops a comment, we appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Now,
let's just get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for not offering my car to my mother? When my father passed away in 2022, our family was thrust into a whirlwind of challenges. Before, he was the pillar supporting our home, but now it is just my mother, 63, my brother, 38, and me, 26. The family dynamics are complicated. My brother is always focused on his own life, and my mother, a natural narcissist, rarely listens to others. The family business was in my name as we are seeking a loan. Unfortunately, my father passed away before transferring it, leading to bankruptcy and around 60 labor lawsuits. Legal restrictions prevent me from accessing bank accounts, so I rely on my boyfriend's account. My mom says, quote, "These people are trying to take everything from us, but I advocate for workers' rights, arguing they deserve compensation for their losses." Throughout our lives, my brother always had the upper hand. For instance, during a family trip, my father reserved the best rooms for him and his girlfriend, leaving me and my grandmother, his own mother, in inferior accommodations. My brother ended up with properties in the mountains and by the beach, building a guest house. Although my father bought these and transferred them before his death, my mother still insists my brother paid for them himself, but my grandmother confirmed otherwise. I've never had anything in my name except the company. When my brother found out it was transferred to me, he nearly tore the house down. Even when my father was alive, my brother accused our parents of secretly giving me things, earning him more bonuses to end the fights. Amid my brother's dramas, I received a significant gift from my father, an education opportunity in the USA. I was studying engineering there, but had to return to Brazil due to the pandemic. Now, I work in the morning and study architecture in the afternoon. My mother pays for my college, $110 per month, and health insurance, $55 per month, as well as rent and food. When we received $80,000 related to the company after my father's death, my mother gave my brother $20,000, claiming it was a loan. My dad took his money from my brother a while back and was constantly humiliated by him for not paying, so I respected her decision. But I feel angry since the company is in my name, and I had no say in the matter. Also, I believe that all the money we receive from the company should be considered as inheritance. Then came the car. She said it was for me, but it became clear it was more hers than mine when she started smoking inside it, despite my repeated requests not to. When she needed the car, I relied on Uber or ride shares. Feeling like I have no control over my own property is distressing. My mother had always been complicated. She seemed reluctant to spend money on me, evident when I was robbed and asked to borrow money for a new phone. She refused, even though I work and intended to repay her, knowing I needed a phone for work. My boyfriend gave me his old phone to help. Another example is when it came time for graduation fees. Here in Brazil, the students themselves organize graduation parties in a way that we split all costs in several months until graduation date so that we can afford it. My mother promptly declared she wouldn't help, without even asking about the amounts. But the worst part has yet to come. She started visiting our beach house more often. On one occasion, she called me asking for money, claiming she was out. I found it odd, but I sent her $140. When she returned, she said she borrowed an additional $100 from her brother. This puzzled me since I managed the household finances and I knew money wasn't meant to run out like that. However, I didn't question it much as I've never policed how she spends her own money. A month later, while paying bills, she held onto the phone, wanting to learn how to process electronic payments. This surprised me, as I had long encouraged her to do this to ease my workload. After my father passed away, she passed financial responsibility to me, and now I was bombarded with issues and tasks whenever I left or returned home. But the real bombshell dropped when, looking for a receipt, I discovered about 30 transactions labeled as liquid dating. I connected this to Tinder or some other dating apps. I had seen Tinder on her phone before, but I never judged or intervened in her personal life. This time, however, was too much. She spent the entire amount I'll have to pay for my graduation until 2027 in a single month. While I truly believe she accidentally used the card on the app, the lack of care and consideration devastated me. She instantly lied and tried to manipulate the situation, but I didn't fall for it. When I called my grandmother to share what happened, my mother had already spread rumors that I was crazy, saying she was spending money on an online psychologist due to her, quote, dark thoughts. This infuriated me even more, as I've dealt with depression, anxiety, and ADHD for years, and she never supported me. She proudly claimed her therapy was meditation and prayer. The one time I convinced her to take me to a psychologist, they recommended a psychiatrist, and she pulled me out saying, quote, my daughter isn't crazy. Along with the frustration for not having autonomy over my car, I've stopped leaving the keys in the living room, and she was furious. Passive-aggressive comments about taking the bus or waiting to buy her own car are constant, but she has never asked to borrow my car. My family thinks I'm wrong for not offering the car to her. Other than that, I've heard her make comments for my family over the phone that I should have a conscience crisis for doing that because she pays my education. I spoke to my mother and said if she wanted the car, she just needed to ask directly, without indirect comments. She became furious and said it wouldn't hurt to offer the car, to which I replied she just had to ask. She said she wouldn't ask for the car anymore, then shouted insults from afar while I was in my room, as usual. So am I the asshole for not offering my car to my mother?
No. You literally said all you have to do is ask, and she's not even willing to ask?
Yeah.
But do you disagree?
Well, I don't know. She says she's like purposely keeping the keys away from her because she was smoking in her car. Like she doesn't want her driving it in the first. She doesn't want her mom driving the car.
No, exactly. She's keeping the keys away because she was smoking in the car, and that's not her property to smoke in. Like, that is so disrespectful.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I would be that kind of petty. I mean, I don't even know if it's petty. It's just like, that's my property. If you want to be an adult and ask me, like, that's fine. I will give it to you. But you're not even willing to ask me. Like, you're just going to be passive aggressive about it and making comments about taking public transit and such.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, that's not mature.
No.
You need to be mature enough to have an adult conversation and ask for something that's not yours.
That's true. Yeah, it's just weird how it went from, like, she just had, like, full reign, and then she took the keys away, and then she's like, yeah, she just has to ask me for it.
I think that's totally fair.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
I don't know. It sounds like a really messy situation. I feel for her. Losing her dad has sent her family into whirlwind of everything.
I'm really confused on the Tinder fees because...
Yeah, I don't understand how you can spend that much.
Okay, so I'm trying to also judge how much a graduation is in Brazil because it seems like their like post-secondary fees are not that expensive.
Yeah, $118 a month?
Like, I mean, it's all relative, but like here in Canada, it is a lot more than that.
You're like $10K a year.
So, yeah, I'm just trying to, I guess, guesstimate what her mom is paying on Tinder fees because like what can you possibly be spending money on? Just like premium? Just so like I've never been on Tinder. Maybe you have some insight on that.
When I was on Tinder, it was all free.
Oh, okay.
It had just come out, so they hadn't had all the scams on there yet.
So I feel like Tinder, let me see. Subscription tiers on Tinder. So the most expensive is Tinder Platinum. And you get to message before matching, prioritize likes, see the likes you've sent in the last 7 days, and everything you love from Tinder Gold.
All scam.
Okay.
Gimme scam.
So how much is this? Oh, I don't want to get started.
Are you signing up for Tinder?
No.
What is this?
Okay, regardless, I'm just like, is this like the most I can think that would be is like maybe $30 a month, which is like on the more expensive side. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I see, I'm not too sure because she's saying she spent the entire amount I'll have to pay for my graduation until 2027 in a single month.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit confused about the costs there.
I have no idea.
Me either.
There's an edit, and she says, "The thing is, I cannot have anything under my SSN while the lawsuits are still on. My lawyer advised me, and I truly trust him since he graduated with my dad and they were friends. Sometimes I feel he is the only one worried about my future. My dad had some debt, and we transferred the company to me in hopes to get a loan, but that failed. We were beginning the procedure to transfer it back to him, but COVID got him. So the car is registered to my mother. The bank apps are on her phone. She receives and manages the money. We are tight on money, but she never accepts any of my advice on how to save some more, and sometimes she even gets to the same conclusion that I got months after and acts like it was her idea. Bugs me, but I always ignore it. After all, I'm the little bitch who makes the payments. Well, not anymore. I stopped helping around, but at the same time I kept my car keys. The $60,000 left after she gave my brother the money were used to buy this car. The rest of the money vanished in a year. I make around $320 a month, and my mom makes around $1,400 a month. My brother makes more. I guess she said the car was mine for not feeling guilty about the money that she sent to my brother, and was manipulating me into thinking the car was really mine, while she acted in many ways that shouted that it was hers. I've had enough and thought, well, now I'm going to act like this is actually mine." Buddy GPT helped me for the first post because I was in a rush, but now it's me writing for you guys. Thank you for pitching in. I really appreciate it.
Oh, I love ChatGPT. It really helps me too. Okay. So yeah, we get some more context here with this edit. So it seems like the car might not actually be OP's. Like,
she was told it is, but mom, I don't know, just wanted it to seem that way. But
yeah, it seemed like mom was just doing it to look good to her, but like didn't actually want to give her the rights and privilege to it.
Yeah, seems like it.
This is a little bit messy.
Very messy.
So I think it's also a little bit crazy for me that they spent $60,000 on a car when they are only making around $1,400 a month.
I don't know if they spent that much money on it.
She said.
She just said the rest of it disappeared. She said they used that money to buy the car, and then the rest disappeared.
The money vanished in a year.
So I doubt the car was that expensive, but who knows?
Okay. Moral of the story. No, I don't think you're an asshole. I think, sorry, I don't even know if you were asking if you were the asshole or not. But I think you have probably been pushed in a corner, and like, this is the only way you can kind of get a little bit of revenge, or like, not even revenge, but just like get what's, rightfully yours.
Yeah.
Like, she was promised a car.
Yeah. I would say just keep going to school, keep your head down, try to be drama free, and save your money too, so that you will have freedom to do what you need to do in the future.
Yeah, I was also thinking, like, I feel like you need to move out.
Can they afford it? I don't know. So that's what I'm saying. No. Like, go to school, get your stuff done, save your money so that you can move out and get away when it's feasible for you. No, exactly. Like, once it's feasible, I just feel like if it were me in this situation, like, your whole family dynamic, it just seems like it would be a lot for me and like very overwhelming. So I think like my priority in the situation would be, once I start making good money, like my goal would be to move out, to kind of get away. I guess that's what I did. I was gonna say, in real life. Would be, or was, is, did, done. That's what I've done. So that's my advice to you. All right, moving on.
I'm gonna keep it with the family drama. This one was funny. Okay. Traumatized by my father-in-law's problems. Sort of not safe for work. Hi guys, the trauma-themed episode made me feel like I should post this. I just need to tell someone because this is killing me not to talk about it, and I'm learning the hard way that this is apparently one of the very few things I cannot tell my husband. So my husband and I have been married less than a year now, and his parents have been extremely kind in opening their home to us and letting us live with them while we save up money for our future. They are very nice and respectful people, but I haven't gotten too close with them yet because there's a little bit of a language barrier. Both my husband and father-in-law have to wake up at around 6 a.m. for work, so I also wake up at that time to go down to the kitchen and make breakfast for my husband while he stays upstairs getting ready. I sometimes run into my father-in-law in the kitchen. Guys, my father-in-law apparently gets the craziest morning wood I have ever had the misfortune of seeing. Now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it. Of course, he wears basketball shorts at that time of the morning too, so that doesn't help at all. It just sticks out so far. Like the shorts do absolutely nothing to contain it. It just sticks straight out like it's waiting for a handshake. This morning I even got jump scared by it because usually he comes into the kitchen after me, but today I turned the corner and he was already standing there with a monster sticking out. Like a foot long, I swear to God. Scared me half to death. I ducked out back through the doorway and said something like, "OMG, I didn't know you were here. You scared me." And thankfully, when I came back in, he was facing the sink with his back to me. So he must know it's there. But this is the first time I feel like he's actually tried to hide it. Maybe because it seemed more prominent today than usual. It has been very kind of my father-in-law and mother-in-law to let us stay here, but I cannot wait to move out next year. This image is seared into my brain now and keeps getting re-seared there because I just can't seem to ever avoid looking there in the first place. It's like when you see a giant scary bug and you don't want to keep looking at it, but you do anyways just to make sure it's still there. Every time my eyes do a quick check in the hopes it isn't there, but nope, it always is. I feel like this is actively making it harder for me to get over my shyness and connect with my father-in-law, but of course I can't tell my husband why. The day when we move out cannot come fast enough.
This is, oh my God, this is traumatizing in the funniest way. I have so many questions though, but like, what if he accidentally pokes her? What if she just turns around, he's there, doesn't know poke? But like, okay, I don't, like, bro, why are you not tucking it in the waistband? Like, come on, like a waistband technique. You just push it upwards, tuck it in the waistband.
Like,
classic and tried technique. And who walks around with it like poking like that?
Like, come on.
How does it stay that like that for so long? Time I put pants on and I get to the kitchen, like, okay, maybe if that's like the first place, I guess it can kind of stay for that long.
That's awkward. You have to be self-aware.
Yeah, you got like, other people.
You got other people
in the house now.
Like,
tuck in the waistband, bro.
I don't know. I just feel like this is just common sense to like.
Nobody wants to. How does he handle the weight of the shorts, like pushing against it? That can't be comfortable.
Oh my God. There's a small edit. She says, "Just to clarify, I did not make this post to ask for advice. I just wanted to share this to get off my chest because there's no one I could talk to in real life. Thank you to anyone who wants to help, but it's okay, lol."
Thank you for venting to us. We appreciate it.
Oh my God. So she does reply to a couple comments. Someone said, "What if you cook before father-in-law wakes up and leave it in the oven for the husband?" She replies, "Impossible, lol. It's hard enough for me to wake up at 6 a.m. to begin with. Plus, my husband is a super light sleeper who finds it really hard to get back to sleep. I would definitely wake him up too early that way, especially since I need an alarm. I don't want to deprive him of his much needed rest when it isn't really necessary. He already has enough sleeping problems already." I feel that. Once Denver's up, I'm up.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you don't need to get up. She's not going to get up earlier. She just gets up with him. Getting up earlier is going to wake the other person up.
Another comment says, "Do you have to make breakfast for your husband? That is very sweet of you, but you shouldn't be forced to endure a side of sausage with your eggs every morning. I'm dead. I'm dead.
Yeah, let him. Like, sorry, bro, you cooking your own breakfast.
Could hubby maybe eat a bowl of cereal or a bagel with cream cheese or something he can fix quickly? Or make some scrambled eggs the night before and he can microwave them in the morning? Communicate with your husband and let him know why you don't want to cook in the morning. Also, are you certain your father-in-law isn't flaunting his breakfast boners as some weird flex or something worse?
Let's not go that far, but I would just say, she says she doesn't want to bring this up. So how do you explain, hey, I'm not going to cook your breakfast anymore without bringing it up?
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is going against everything that OP originally said. Like, she doesn't want to talk to her husband about it. She doesn't want to bring it up. So, yeah, that wouldn't really be feasible. OP replied, thanks for the comment. I'm actually not a citizen of the country we're living in right now, like my husband is. I was able to get residency, but I still don't have permission to work yet. Since I can't legally work at the moment, I'm trying to take my duties as a housewife really seriously. I think making breakfast for my husband in the morning is the absolute least I can do to support him with his very difficult daily schedule. So for me, no, skipping making breakfast for him isn't something I want to resort to. Sending him to work with a hot meal is really important to me, and it's just not the same if it isn't fresh. Luckily, my father-in-law often has to go on business trips, so it isn't like I have to deal with this every day. I'd say he's only here 2 or 3 days of the week. Still enough to traumatize me, lol. But I think I just have to bear this cross until we move out. Also, I'm very sure father-in-law isn't a creep or anything, haha. I don't get those vibes at all, and it's not like he's ambushing me with them on purpose or getting into my space. He always just does what he needs to do in the kitchen and leaves ASAP. This is just how things have unfortunately worked out.
Oh, sounds so nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get that vibe either. But yeah, this is just an unfortunate situation. It does suck when some people are not very, like, socially aware.
Yeah, it's still his house. They moved into his house.
Yes.
He's had his routine set in stone for 50 years.
Like, yes, but like...
He's got boner mornings. That's how he rolls. Boner mornings and basketball shorts. Just lets it come down naturally. Lets it deflate on its own.
Like a little bit. No shame.
Maybe he's just so used to it, he forgot.
I think we should bring back shame.
Yeah, you can take it easy over there.
All right. I thought that one was pretty funny.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on.
Back to me. Am I the asshole if I tell my sister to stop dropping dogs off at my parents' house? My male, 21, sister, 24, is always getting or accepting dogs from strangers. After homing them for less than a month, she will come to my parents' house and show them the dog, and guilts them to keeping them at their house by saying that she is taking them to the pound. So far, she's left 3 dogs and doesn't bring them any dog food, leaving me having to buy the dog food even though none of them are mine. I've even had to bail one of the dogs out when he got out because my parents were upset he was in the pound. So now she got another dog, and I told her, why the fuck did she just get another dog? And she better not try to drop it off because I'll make sure it doesn't stay. She's upset with me, but I don't give a fuck because this would be the 4th dog that I'm taking care of, and I don't got time for that. Am I the asshole?
No.
Where are all these dogs coming from?
I don't know. Like, I feel like she probably, because, I don't know, I'm a part of, like, some Facebook groups, like, in the area, like City Place and Liberty Village and such. A lot of people, like, post that they can no longer accommodate a dog anymore. They're giving it away.
Why?
But I don't know, but that's just the reality. I don't know why. I hate that. Trust me.
Why are they giving the dog away?
Trust me, I hate that.
Why?
It's mostly probably because a lot of people don't realize the amount of work that needs to go into it. People have jobs.
Boo-hoo. You took it upon, you decided to get a motherfucking pet. Keep it, figure it out, change your whole lifestyle around it.
Like, yes, I would do that, but a lot of people are not as nice.
I'm just saying
a lot of people don't care about animals the same way we do.
Well, that's how I feel. You get a dog.
I agree.
And you don't like it.
I feel like you have to commit to it. Like,
wham.
But at the same time, like, do you want that dog to be in a home that's it's not being properly cared for, it's being neglected?
No, I want the dog to be not neglected.
Mean. That's what I mean. Like,
well, don't be a piece of shit human that neglects animals.
Yes, sometimes it's easier said than done though, because most of the time, I think people just like the idea of a dog and don't realize the commitment that comes into it before. I think that's the problem. It's not like they just want to give it up because
they didn't realize how to walk it twice a day.
Yeah, I don't know. I trust me, I don't like it as much as you do.
You get a pet,
but sometimes it is better for the dog to rehome.
Potentially. You know what would be better for the dog? Don't fucking get it in the first place unless you can follow through.
Yeah, I do agree. Like, I think there should be I feel like the system should be better with adopting or purchasing dogs. Like, you need to be, I don't know, kind of like a human adoption, maybe. Not as intense, but I don't know, you need to be vetted to make sure that you maybe work from home. You can't be working 9 to 5 and not having a dog walker or a sitter come and having that dog, especially people who commute. If you're gone from 7:30 a.m. until 6:30 p.m.
Yeah, maybe a dog's not the right lifestyle for you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But, yeah.
I was gonna say I always grew up with a dog, but I guess my mom was work from home basically, or she'd stay at home mom.
Okay, but also you lived on property too.
Yeah, we did live on a farm, yeah.
So I feel like that's different. Were they allowed to go out? Were they stuck in your home? No, right? So
outside all the time.
I'm just thinking about people who live in Toronto in condos and stuff.
Yeah.
There's no backyards here.
So many. I don't understand the people that get the giant ass dogs that live in a condo.
We always see those too in the...
They're huge and they live in a condo. Never understood that.
There's a Doberman and another dog in the same... they're always a couple that are walking together. I'm assuming they're in the same unit, but... I
feel bad for our cats.
I know.
This apartment is too small for those 2 cats. I'm excited to build a house where they can explore.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean... I feel like OP's sister is probably just she just has a soft spot for dogs and she doesn't want to. I feel like my original point was people post saying that they can no longer care for this animal. If no one could take it, they're being brought to the pound. And she probably sees it and is like, no, don't bring it to the pound. I have parents who are retired who can care for them. And, and then she just
the parents
pawns it off to them.
Not fair.
I agree, it's not fair, but I feel like she has good intentions. But no, it's totally not fair. OP has every right to be upset here because he's the one that's ending up taking care of it and buying the food parents. And stuff. You can't do that. Sometimes, especially, I don't know, sometimes, it is probably a better life to just bring them to a shelter. And I hate shelters.
Same. Not a better life to take them to the shelter, but maybe they hopefully find a better life.
No, that's what I mean. They have better potential there.
What if you're an old dog?
Stop. I don't want to be depressed today, okay? No. Stop. Why would you say that? That wasn't nice.
I was just thinking of those videos I see with the old kitties in the cage, and I don't hate it. I want to adopt all the cats.
I know. When we have more property, but Luna's such a bitch. Luna doesn't want to be friends with
Luna
anyone
will
else.
stay away from them.
I would adopt so many animals.
It'll be a big house
when we have a home, but Luna is just it's not only that she's a bitch, she's just
she's really recluse.
She's scared. She gets scared.
She likes to be by herself.
Yeah.
She was playing this morning, and then Jack went and laid down a foot away from her. It's the closest he can get. She stopped playing. She just stared at him. She's like,
"Why the fuck are you here, bro?
You're in my personal bubble. That's a bubble of 10 feet for her little cat."
She's permanent COVID restrictions. Stay 10 feet away from me.
Yeah.
All right.
Back to you.
Okay. Speaking of COVID, this one is titled, "Am I the asshole for being upset that my family had my baby shower without me?"
What the fuck?
Hello, Reddit. This is my first time posting. I'm curious what other people's reaction would be if they were in my situation. It seems like I'm the odd one out since people think I'm crazy, rude, and awful. This situation happened right at the height of COVID in August of 2020. I don't want to make this a long post, but I do think all the information listed below is relevant to the story. 1. My husband worked in a hospital with active COVID patients. 2. All of my in-laws were high risk for contracting COVID. 3. At the time, pregnancy didn't make you high risk. We were still learning about the disease. Now I believe it does. Not sure. 4. If I were to have a baby shower, it would be towards the end of my pregnancy because that's when I feel I would be comfortable that the likelihood of miscarriage is lower. Now on to the story. COVID was pretty rough on all of us. At the time, I had a 3-year-old and I was pregnant with really, really bad nausea, as well as aches and pains that seemed never ending. The nausea didn't even go away with medication. I did the best to stop it, and just continued life as normal as possible, even though we were stuck inside and all of our activities were no longer happening. My husband, as I mentioned, worked in a hospital. He dealt with COVID patients. Because of this, we were extremely careful. When he came home, he would remove his clothes and shoes in the garage. He would immediately put them in the washing machine. He would bathe in our downstairs bathroom, and then he would come up to see us. We would sanitize and wear masks when necessary. Basically, we followed protocols that were told to us at the time. My in-laws, however, had different plans, which they are entitled to. They didn't quarantine, they didn't socially distance, they shared masks and had large gatherings at their house, one of which was a wedding in their backyard. I didn't want to go, but my husband convinced me. We wore masks, socially distanced, and didn't go inside the house. I will admit, I was angry because I was told everyone would be wearing masks, except the bride and groom, but no one did. I maintained my distance and told myself, I'm not doing that again. It was very obvious that I was trying to stay safe, my husband included. It was very hard to keep a 3-year-old away from people he loved, and I sincerely was doing it for their benefit, knowing that we were the ones who could contract it, since my husband worked in healthcare, and could give it to his family. One of my sister-in-laws kept telling me that she would see us in a few weeks. I was confused at first, but I didn't think much of it because I was too nauseous and tired and dealing with my toddler to try to decipher what that meant. When it came closer to the date, I had a feeling that she was throwing me a baby shower. However, I am not a baby shower type of girl. I don't mind if other people have them, I just don't like them for myself. I had one for my first kid, and I told my mom and sister-in-law explicitly that I am only doing this for you all, and because it is the first grandchild on both sides. They knew this before my first baby shower, and they definitely knew this while planning this one. My husband has since told me that he told them I wouldn't like it. Because of this feeling, I texted my sister-in-law a few days before the date she told me. I asked if she was having a baby shower for me, and she said yes. I told her that I am not going to be able to attend. I have very bad nausea, and most importantly, it would be irresponsible of me or her to have something like this, given the circumstances. We were literally a town that had just become red, which meant that numbers were going up pretty severely, and they were warning us to remain 6 feet and whatever else advisory. I also told her that it's a really nice and thoughtful gesture, but I wouldn't be able to morally live with myself if we convened and someone got severely sick just because I wanted to party, which again I didn't and would never, as I am extremely introverted. She said okay, and I thought it was done. I get a call the next day from my friend saying that my sister-in-law called her to say that I'm not going to my baby shower and that my friend probably doesn't want to go since I wouldn't be there. This friend was super cautious, still is, and was only going to my baby shower to make me happy. She literally felt like she was risking her life. My sister-in-law told her safety precautions were going to be in place and that I would be outside, so she agreed. She called me surprised because she thought it was a surprise for me. But then my sister-in-law called and told her that I knew and that I wasn't coming. So I told my friend, yeah, I would never do this, and especially during a time like this, especially knowing who my family is. Unfortunately, literally no one in my family is healthy. High blood pressure, cancer, high cholesterol, heart issues, asthma, severe allergies, fragile bones, arthritis, just to name a few. And this is just off the top of my head with the in-laws and my mom's side of the family. My friend and I hung up and I thought nothing of it. It's done. No harm, no foul, right? I literally thought she was making her calls to whoever she invited. Till this day, I don't know who, and it was over. Wrong. The next day, my older cousin texts me and tells me that since I didn't show up to the baby shower and I didn't want the homemade cupcakes, she would take them back home with her. I said, "What? You were invited? It's happening? How?" I was shocked. I couldn't believe that they had my baby shower without me. I felt terrible because she is another one who literally had not left her house since March. She worked from home, her kids were home from school, her wife also worked from home, she had groceries delivered, all the works. Again, another person risking their lives to please me, but it wasn't for me. especially knowing that they had the whole event without me, didn't cancel anything, and didn't follow any supposed protocols. I was immediately angry, immediately hurt, shocked, whatever feeling I likely had it, other than happiness. Till this day, I'm still confused as to how anyone would think it's okay to have a baby shower when the mother isn't present. Thankfully, I'm not angry/sad or hurt anymore, but it's definitely still insane to me. My husband immediately went into defending his family. My cousin told my mom and aunt that I wasn't happy about what was going on. They both called and tried to defend themselves. My mom particularly said, "I wanted to celebrate my grandchild. You can't stop me from doing that." And she's right, I can't stop her from doing that, even though I think it's crazy. But do it at your own party, with your own friends. Why make me aware of it all? As though it was for me. I see this as a major betrayal. My mom and I have had a very tumultuous relationship. She has been physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually abusive. My aunt has defended her. My other aunts and grandmother think she can do no wrong. She's the one who told my sister-in-law to still have the party because, according to my mom, I would show up. But my sister-in-law knew that I wouldn't because 1, I told her. 2, she told my friend I wasn't going to be there, meaning sister-in-law also knew I wouldn't be there. And 3, I gave my reasoning about COVID being bad at the moment, plus my other ailments. None of those stipulations had changed from one day to the other. My in-laws were confused as to why I was angry, like it was no big deal that the person who you are literally having the baby shower for isn't there. As though they didn't treat me like the surrogate before. Here is more evidence. I blocked all of my in-laws. I also blocked my mom and aunt, and haven't spoken to them since. I wrote an email and my sister-in-law explaining why, with a long laundry list of things that were pretty similar to this, in the sense that they don't respect me, my boundaries, my generosity, and my willingness to always go above and beyond, and basically, this is the respect I get. I don't need thank yous. I need you to respect me and consider my feelings. But nope, it's just about what they want. And they wanted to party, so party without me. My brother, who I still speak to, called me a week after the event to update me on his life. He went to the party, but he didn't know where he was going. My mom told him to jump in the car and told him she was going to a party. My brother didn't ask any questions, very typical of him. As they were driving, she told him that it was my baby shower, and he was immediately surprised. He said that this wasn't for my sister because if you knew her, you'd know she wouldn't want this. My mom told him that I knew about it, and nothing else. He decided to stay because he was moving out of the country, and this was his last time seeing all these people, at least for a long while. I still haven't seen him, so yeah, a long while. He said they wanted to take a video to send it to me, and every time they would pivot to him, he would quote-unquote ruin it, according to them, by saying, "This isn't for," insert my name. Again, this fact only further proves that they were aware and that they saw nothing wrong with what they were doing. After I blocked them, I have gotten many passive-aggressive things done to me. For example, when my son was born, my husband and kid and new baby all got gifts from one sister-in-law congratulating them. Not me, just them. Another sister-in-law delivered coffee and donuts for my husband and toddler with a card saying, "For all your hard work," as though they did anything. During the delivery, they constantly called to see if the baby was born, not to see how I was. So much so that my husband wasn't present with me, and I can't help but think it was on purpose. After the baby was born, our doctor advised that no one see the baby for at least 3 months, so we complied. My husband would often FaceTime, and I would constantly hear, "Oh, he has dimples, like me," meaning sister-in-law, when I literally have 2. Any feature of mine, that was very clearly mine, they would try to attribute it to themselves or some long-lost relative of their own. Very weird, when both my kids look exactly like me. Literally hair color, texture, dimples, face, smile. I've been told that we look like twins by others. But of course, it's your uncle's kid's kid. Sure. So anytime anyone asks me why I'm not around, I get dirty looks and comments. The really infuriating comment of, "But they're your family," are the worst. But I just grin and bear it. Anyways, that's my story. Am I the asshole? I don't think I am, especially given the context.
Fuck them all. Blanket, fuck them all. What I don't understand is her husband, though.
Yeah.
Her husband is the one who works in the hospitals.
I know.
Is the freaking first responding care person, and he's not setting them straight.
I know.
I don't get that part.
I don't get it either.
The one part of the story I can't agree with, though, is where she says that the extended family is finding the features in them that they think they look like.
I think she's probably like taking it personally because of everything that's happened.
I agree.
But yeah, I feel like...
Because I'm like...
they could be doing that to be petty. And like,
100% they could.
They could be. But
I don't disagree. I'm just biased over here because I've been like comparing Andrew to what I look like.
Yeah, you literally have. My mom at brunch today was like, oh my God, Andrew just looks just like you, Denver.
Like, obviously he looks like Madison. Yeah. But, I'm just trying to find some joy in it, too. Like, obviously, he looks more like Madison and Chris. But Madison is my sister, and I look like Madison. So I have been slightly poking fun. But for her sake, it's definitely, like, compounding an issue. But, no, like, fuck them all. First off, it's not a baby shower. That's like a baby honoring.
Yeah, it's just an honor.
And you're doing it to a baby that you're not going to fucking see.
Yeah.
Because you did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're doing a baby shower for somebody who literally doesn't want it, didn't ask for it, thinks it's dumb and misplaced in the time that we were in. And then now you probably barely see that baby.
Yeah, exactly. Because you wanted your stupid party, like.
Yeah, that's sorry you have to deal with that, OP, but like,
yeah,
like she said, she's like almost no contact with all of them now. So would I'd be like that too.
Yeah, 100%. She does have some questions before I'm asked. Number 1, the baby shower was in a home, no venue to cancel or deposit they lost out on. Everything to my knowledge was refundable or theirs already. 2.
Still, but they were planning a gathering in the middle of COVID. So obviously, you don't give a fuck about anybody but yourself.
No, I think that's what she's saying. Like, it's not like they were going to lose out on money. Yeah. Number 2. My in-laws knew the rules as they were very on top of watching the news 24/7. 3. My mom and aunt also work in another hospital, and although it's not patient care, they have to be constantly tested and follow the same procedures as the doctors, nurses, and medical staff. 4. I did not block anyone / go no contact solely because of this issue. It was merely the straw that broke the camel's back. It is like a light switch went off, and I just realized the relationships no longer serve me, if they ever did. 5.
Yeah, I'm sure if they're doing shit like this, they're doing a lot of
There's
other
probably
things.
a bunch of other stuff, exactly. And 5. I've been in therapy for about 5 years, twice a week to get over my crappy childhood. You seem strong, girl.
I know what it's like. I got you.
Yeah. I will say, like, during COVID, I mean, we didn't work in any medical anything. We didn't even have to go out. And I was so anal about, like, social distancing, wearing masks. Like, I didn't want to do any of, like, I didn't want to go out. Like, I was scared. Yeah. And as I've previously stated, I am a hypochondriac, self-diagnosed hypochondriac.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was just afraid of everything. And these people work in healthcare. So it's, like, 10 times scarier. And especially being higher risk. Like,
yeah.
Wouldn't you be scared for yourself? Like, I just, like, there were facts. Like, there were people were dying.
Literally. Like the only reason I wasn't scared was because on the news they said, if you're young and healthy, you'll be fine. Yeah. So I was like, eh.
But even, I mean, there were people that did die.
Yeah.
Healthy.
Yeah. But yeah. I still had a sense of, I wasn't worried.
Yeah, and that's just your nature. But I just mean, as older people, like, I don't know.
I was worried for older people. I was worried about passing it along. Exactly. I wasn't worried about myself, but I was worried about, like, passing and it spreading because of me. But I wasn't worried about me getting sick. I was just worried about me spreading it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It was just like, yeah, if you're not doing it for yourself, like, do it for others. Like, I just remember COVID, like, really brought out people's true colors. And, it was a dark time, COVID.
I kind of miss it. I miss the social distancing people used to do.
I miss
There's way too many people in our elevators now.
The less traffic, the less, like, people were, I don't know, you had to, like, there was only so many people allowed and, like, malls and stuff. Like, now it's just, like, the crowds. Again. I hate crowds.
I hate crowds and lines. grocery stores, what I don't miss is them trying to like make one aisle one
Yeah.
direction. Like,
No one really followed that.
like, come on, man. I'm not going up and down every single aisle to go zig back and forth through. Like, I miss some aisles. No one ever followed that. That
No.
was like, yeah, no thanks.
All right, let's move on.
Okay. Am I the asshole for kicking my boyfriend's sister and her 5 kids out of my apartment? So, prior to COVID, my boyfriend's sister did live on her own in Section 8. Unfortunately, her apartment looked like a hoarder house. She got evicted from there and went into their mom's house. They lived in a 2-bedroom apartment and she had taken over the apartment. My boyfriend was literally sleeping in the living room and paying majority of the rent. He was basically the man of the house. He paid for everything, and I mean everything. Over time, it became a hoarder house, just like the house that she got evicted from. So I convinced him to move out and move in with me. My boyfriend, 26, and I, 24, moved in with his dad to get him out of that situation, and we only lived there for a year. After a year, we started looking into apartments, and unfortunately, within that time, his mom and siblings were also getting evicted. I had made it clear to him that if we were going to help anybody out within his family, it would be his mother, and he agreed. By the time we got into our apartment, his family was already evicted and bouncing from place to place. It had first started with asking me if his younger brother, aged 22, could stay with us for a while because he had nowhere to go. Obviously, I was not okay with that because I told him we could only help out his mother. Eventually, he still ended up staying and created problems within our relationship. Fast forward a couple months where we were trying to get back on track. Within this time, his sister went to SC to go stay with their youngest sister and her boyfriend. After a couple weeks, they got evicted and returned. She then went to go stay with an older relative on the baby's father's side. One day, his sister, 29, had come in asking if she and her 5 kids, all under the age of 8, and her grown-ass baby daddy, who's 45, could stay with us for a week because the lady, baby daddy's relative, didn't want them in their house while she was on vacation. So my boyfriend didn't necessarily ask me. He kind of just told me, hey, she's going to be staying here for a week. And I wasn't okay with that. But I told him it's fine as long as she and the kids stayed quiet because I work from home. It went from 1 week to 3 months. After the first week of her being there, I did ask her what her plan was, which she responded very hostile and said, well, if it's a problem I'm here, then I'll just take my kids and go. People always want to kick someone down when it's raining. She had a total attitude just because I asked what her plan was. Never did I kick her out or tell her she had to leave. Turns out the lady never went on vacation, and that was just her way of kicking them out. She was already creating more problems within my relationship with my boyfriend because she would not clean at all. All she would do is sit all day, not working, and not pay a single penny towards rent, nor did her baby daddy. He didn't work. It made my blood boil. When it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, this man will be laid out in the middle of my floor asleep like he owns the place. Kids running around, Play-Doh all over my ceiling, my walls written up, and when I would say something to her, it's, oh, I'll get to it. My boyfriend would always be on her side saying, yeah, she's going to get to it. She has kids and blah, 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 blah. Eventually, I got sick of coming home to a dirty apartment where I'm living with 10 people and a 2-bedroom apartment. I was depressed. I was going to my mom's house just to sleep, because over majority of the days, I wouldn't even get to go into the kitchen to make myself some food. My apartment didn't even feel like my own apartment anymore. It felt like I was in their apartment. I had contacted my apartment complex so that they could let me know what I can do about the situation. They told me I was breaking my lease due to having 7+ guests living with me that weren't on the lease, and also because it's a 2-bedroom apartment. I called the cops and they would just tell me to call my complex. I was going back and forth with my complex and the cops until I got into a verbal argument with my boyfriend, which caused his siblings to come into my room to see what was going on with the commotion. I started arguing with the sister and let it all out. I may have been disrespectful with what I said, but it was all facts. I told her that she needs to start working to take care of her kids, because it's unfair for her little brother to take care of her. Her 5 kids and her grown-ass baby daddy, and she needs to stop using those kids as a paycheck. She kicked me because she got mad I was stating facts, So I put a restraining order on her. Once I got the restraining order, she had to leave my property. The restraining order was only for 3 days, and if I wanted to extend the restraining order, I had to file in court. So I did. After 3 days, she did try to return to my apartment like nothing happened. Groceries in hand and everything. Immediately, I went to go lock the door and called the cops, and I told her that the restraining order was extended, and she had to leave my property from that point on. She has not returned. But she has a history of going from house to house, not cleaning and just getting herself and others evicted. This is not the first, this is not the second, or even the third or fourth time she has done this to someone, and I was not going to let her get me evicted. So am I the asshole for kicking her out along with her 5 kids and her baby daddy when she has not paid a single cent in rent and hasn't cooked any food for us or hasn't cleaned?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I have so much to say here. First of all, at first I was like thinking like, ugh, I don't really like situations like these because I do feel like if they have nowhere else to go and you do have room, what are you going to make? Like, what are you going to do? Like, make them live on the street? Like, it's tough. It's difficult. But she's making her bed. She made her bed. She keeps doing this over and over and over. Like, this is a pattern. And on top of that, she's not contributing at all. She's not grateful for the roof that you are giving her. She's not cleaning up after herself. Like, the bare minimum, cleaning up after yourself. Like, literally all you have to do is clean up after yourself, and it probably wouldn't have gotten to this point. A nice thing to do would be to offer to do above and beyond, cook for everybody, to show that you're grateful for them providing a roof over your head, doing their laundry. Like, if you don't have a job and you're just sitting around all day, what are you doing? Like, literally, what are you doing?
Using the Wi-Fi.
You can't even clean up after yourself. Like, I feel like if I was living in someone else's place, out of just the nicest of their heart, like, and I wasn't paying anything, I would be going above and beyond to make them, like, not have to lift a finger when they're home.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like, this is just so ungrateful and entitled behavior. Like, this is not normal. And the fact that she's getting evicted after, like, evicted and evicted and evicted, like, day after, or whatever, month after month, like, this is not normal.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know when your rant. I don't know when your rant's ending. You said I have so much to say, so I'm just letting you let it out.
That was pretty much all the points.
Yeah. So this is where I'm like, okay, first off, boyfriend's sister's a piece of shit, but like,
boyfriend sucks too.
How are you still attracted to your boyfriend?
No, like I was going to say that too. That was part of my points.
I'd be kicking them all out, or I'd be leaving. I'd be like telling the apartment complex, like, leave them with the lease.
Exactly.
I am leaving this situation.
No, that's what I was thinking. Like, if it were me in the situation, like, I would be up and leaving.
I would be no longer attracted to my partner.
No.
For letting his family do this to me. For him doing this to me. He fucking created this problem.
Yes.
He let them stay. So I'd be like, oh, you want to let them stay? Okay, well, you chose them over me. Fucking figure it out with the apartment shit. I'm not paying rent anymore. I'm peacing out. Peace out. Fuck you. And like, you know, we talked about this before with like CPS and stuff. Mm-hmm. Bro, you guys are not being good parents.
No.
If you don't have a steady
home
for 5 children.
Yeah.
Are the kids better off with CPS coming in and doing something or not?
I don't know.
This is where I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, you're obviously pretty fucking shit parents. You can't keep a stable roof over your kid's head.
What's that noise?
I don't know.
No, I agree.
And like, if you're just moving in temporary with like 5 kids, like, how much stuff are you bringing with you? All these kids are going to be
2-bedroom.
You're cramming these kids where 4 adults in a 2-bedroom with 5 kids. Like, you are cramming.
How does that make sense?
Honestly, at this point, like, I feel like CPS is better for the kids. Like, no offense, your parents are fucking shit.
No, they are.
You don't have enough room for yourself. You obviously couldn't bring like all your clothes. You can't keep toys, anything like that. You can't really keep anything of your own.
This was like so blatantly clear that you are not the asshole, but I just hope you realize, like, you need to leave this guy. Like, this guy sucks.
Yeah, exactly. This guy sucks.
Get away from this family. Like, they are so toxic. They're trying to bring you down with them.
Like, you see the pattern happening and happening and happening 5 times before it gets to your house, and then they come in with you. It's like, no. 1 week? No, you're not even staying the night.
I don't even know how you like got this far. Like you let this happen for months. Like
you need to drop the boyfriend.
Lost it.
Your boyfriend needs a wake up call, and you need to. Honestly, OP needs a bit of a wake up call too. She needs to get away.
I agree. Damn. All right, me.
Back to you.
This one is titled "The Pettiest Thing I've Done to a Man." Back in high school, I, female, began talking to this guy. Let's call him Trey. One night, Trey slid into my DMs, and soon we began talking every day. Trey would send me messages that made my little high schooler heart swoon. The messages went something like this. "You're so beautiful. When you look at me, the world just stops and it's only us. But what really gets me is your eyes. They look like the sky on a clear night, full of stars." He just seemed perfect. He was cute, funny, and constantly compared my eyes to stars and shit, so it seemed we were off to an amazing start. But my best friend wasn't having any of it. Let's call her Zoe. Since I have a tendency to blatantly ignore red flags, Zoe decided to do a bit of digging into who exactly Trey was, and turns out Trey had been talking to 2 other girls at the same time. Even his romantic texts were literally copied and pasted between me and the other 2 girls. So Trey was actually a 2-timing man whore after all. He needed to be punished. After extensive talking and comparing notes, along with movie night watching John Tucker Must Die, all 4 of us, me, Zoe, and the 2 other girls, came up with a plan to make sure Trey never did this to another girl. I texted Trey and asked him if he wanted to meet for dinner one evening. Of course the idiot said yes. I got there early and secured a booth for us to sit in. Trey comes in, gives me a peck on the cheek, and sits across from me in his booth seat. I gasp, "Why are you sitting so far away? I want to sit by you." I move so that I'm sitting on the outside of the booth seat he is in, effectively blocking his exit, as the 2 other girls he had been talking to come in and sit at our table as well. There's nowhere for him to go unless he crawls under the table. Trey goes pale white as we pull up the screenshots we had printed off and start comparing notes. 5 times he compared our eyes to stars. 3 times he compared them to the sea after a storm. And 6 times he said, "Your voice is like a song I want to listen to over and over again." Trey didn't say a word as we turned the table into a collage of screenshots and sticky notes. Soon the waitress came over to take our order. Us girls each got a meal. Trey didn't get anything. We began talking louder and louder until practically the entire restaurant was well aware that Trey Beck was a cheating man whore. With that, we packed up our things, thanked Trey for all of his heartfelt compliments, and left him with the bill for our dinner. None of us have ever heard from him again, and the girlies lived happily ever after.
Bro, that's amazing.
Like a movie.
I could see that. Like, he's like in the booth. He's just stuck, and they just swoop in. They block his exit. He's just like, "I'm fucking dead."
And them just like eating a meal. I just think that's iconic. Like, not only do they like bring the receipts literally and put them on the table in front of him, they literally made him sit through a meal while he just like watched them. Like, that's hilarious. It must have been like at least an hour long of torture.
Yeah, at that point, you might as well just get some food too. Like, you fucked up. You fucked it. You screwed the pooch. Now it's just trying to play it off as cool as you can. Like, you're fucked in all of their books, and you just need to eat your food and take the shit until they let you out of the booth.
Well, Trey probably won't do that ever again. Trey
probably kept doing that.
These men don't change. They don't learn.
No. Sorry, they mentioned John Tucker Must Die. We should watch that.
I've never seen it.
See, I was saying we should watch it because I was like, when we were watching Gilmore Girls, the one girl who was dating Dean, Lindsay, came, and I was like, I know her. Where do I know her from? Oh. And then I looked it up, and she's the main character of John Tucker Must Die. It's a classic, like 2008 something type of movie, like, back in that period where they could be like really raunchy and they weren't worried about offending anybody. Those were the fun era of early 2000s, 2000 to 2010 had all those best like rom-coms.
No, that's so true. And that's the thing. See, one thing about me, I love rewatching stuff that I used to watch as a kid, like just because of the nostalgia.
Yeah, but you don't like watching old movies.
I don't like watching old movies now because I'm like, like, it just doesn't bring me, like, obviously you've seen it before, but it brings you like a sense of nostalgia. For me, I'm just like, the acting sucks, like the script is like, you know, I don't know, I get very nitpicky about it.
We should still watch it. I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it. It's good. It's like fuck men. It's good.
I like that. All right, top comment says, "You are my hero."
I love it.
Yes, you are my hero too. Wow, love that. Iconic. I just know this girl is so confident. Okay.
All right, back to me. I think this one was coming in right after we did that roommates episode.
Okay.
Hello, Teresa and Denver. I'm a relatively new fan, but I think I've listened to almost all of your podcasts. I posted about this story on Am I the Asshole before from a different account, where I mostly got not the asshole, but I've just been needing some solid advice about what to do now, as I thought the situation couldn't get this strange. So, around 2 months ago, my roommate, who had many requests for me, such as lights off by 11 p.m., don't put the AC on for too long, we do live in a hot and humid country, and no perfume in the room. Then the roommate stopped talking to me. This was because she was making another request of me, and I, in response, said, quote, "Okay, I will do that. And you just also make sure to clean your period blood off the toilet seat, okay?" She looked taken aback and then said she does clean it, but I kindly told her that I wouldn't complain about this if it wasn't a problem. This was the handful of times I've had anything to say to her about her habits because honestly, when I would see the blood, I would just take alcohol and clean it. I thought it would be embarrassing to bring it up to her. But this day, I'll be honest, I was a bit frustrated about her requests. So I told her. Now, even after myself have tried to extend olive branches by wishing her good luck on her exams via sticky notes, asking her if she needs any help on her course, giving her recommendations for things, she just does not respond. As well, she makes it a habit to be very noisy in the mornings while I sleep. My issue is, I know I didn't do anything wrong for making the request, but I cannot stand her thinking she has had ground to stand on for any reason to be upset. She even stopped lining the bin and now keeps a plastic bag by her table, which is not the problem, but is most definitely a passive-aggressive show of, now I won't do things for you, which is really funny because I just line it myself. I feel like she's just building resentment against me whenever I try to talk to her or not. It is also to note that we have a 4-year age gap. She is 19 and I am 23. Maybe her immaturity is why she is acting like this. Honestly, I would just like some advice on how to handle the situation and why exactly this has gotten to her so badly that she decided to completely shut down. We used to have a good relationship for the first 4 months. She looked up to me and wanted to learn English from me, but now something so small was her final straw. I would understand if I refused her request, but I was very accommodating with everything she asked of me. I just cannot wrap my head around keeping a grudge for this long. If I did something embarrassing that my roommate, the person I literally sleep next to, informed me about, I would simply apologize and move on. I'm not sure if she's turning her embarrassment into anger or what, but it's kind of driving me up the wall. Any advice?
Okay. I think, like, maybe you were being a little bit petty with the comment.
You know you're being petty with the comment.
But
it's your timing of it. You snap back.
Yeah. But, I mean, at the same time, like, she's been nitpicking at little things you've been doing and stuff. So, like, I just feel like you reach your breaking point. And, like, the one thing that you could say to her, like, you did say it. So, like, it kind of also just shows that, like, yeah, you also had some stuff to say to her. And you didn't bring that up previously because you're just, like, you seem like a calmer person. Like, someone that's not passive-aggressive like that. So, obviously now she's just butthurt and she's being petty. It's funny that, like, she can dish it, but she can't take it. Like,
it's almost every bully.
Yeah. Every bully?
Yeah.
I don't know if she's being a bully.
It's bully tendencies.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, she wants to be controlling about your guys' apartment, like, when you put up the AC and stuff, and, like,
yeah, you're kind of, she's kind of bullying her roommate because everything has to be her way.
Yeah, I guess that is bullying.
It's low-key bullying in a sense.
Yeah, it's controlling.
Yeah.
And now, yeah, she's just butthurt. She seems like a bit of a narcissist to me. Like, she's just it's kind of like her way or the highway. And it's unfortunate that it had to result to this. I don't know if there's any coming back from this. It seems like she's kind of checked out. What have you tried talking to her? Like,
I was gonna say, if you want to fix it, you gotta have communication.
Just like have a sit down conversation.
You gotta try. You need to start with an apology.
Yeah, like, even though, like, I don't think you're really in the wrong here, I think maybe you could just be like, hey, I know it's been a few rocky months or weeks, however long it's been, but, like, I really don't want things to continue like this. Like, I'm really sorry if, like, the comment that I made hurt you. I was just frustrated, and maybe I shouldn't have brought it up in that context. I could have been more polite about it. But to be honest, I was just getting a little bit overwhelmed with all of the little things that you were nitpicking at me. So I kind of just snapped back. Like, I would just maybe start there. Just kind of like, take accountability. But
I'm not saying you need to apologize, but if you're asking, how do I fix this? If you want to fix this, it's a magic trick. Put it on yourself and apologize to the person. And I say that with, like, you know, you can also be expecting this technique to get an apology out of the person.
Back, yeah.
Yeah, like you can be judging this the way I think of it is like, I'm going to judge this and I'm going to be like, I'm going to apologize about the situation about it. And if you also aren't coming to meet me halfway and apologizing back to me, then I'm going to walk away from the conversation being like, okay, fuck you, nothing changed. But if I go into the conversation and I'm like, listen, I'm sorry I snapped at you about, you know, the toilet blood seat, because she did snap. She was taken aback and she snapped back. It wasn't something that she brought up on a separate timeline. Mm-hmm. She brought it up snapping back. So you go in and you apologize for snapping back, because you did snap back. You say, hey, listen, I apologize for this. You know, these things they're piling up. So on a separate conversation, like, I just want to say, like, these things are kind of piling up for me. I feel like they're being a little bit unreasonable. We're roommates. We got to meet 50-50. There's going to be some things that I do that aren't necessarily you're going to love with. And there's going to be some things that you do that I'm not necessarily going to love with. That's what having a roommate is about. If you don't want that, don't have a roommate. But we're both in the situation where we need to have roommates. So we need to be able to, you know, have a little bit of give and take here. I'm sorry, what about from the toilet seat? And then once you take a breath, if they don't say, I'm sorry for the way that I've been acting, then you know how to judge yourself going forward. When the lease comes up, boom, you're done. You guys are done as roommates, whatever. And your roommate's going to continue to be passive aggressive for the entire time. If she's not lining the garbage bin up, then once you fill it up and you empty it to the garbage bin, you leave the liner empty until you need to use it again. Or you, like, I don't know, understand. Like, if she's keeping a garbage bag by her desk, then she's not using the OG garbage can. But if she's emptying it and not replacing the liner, then she is using the OG garbage can. So therefore, you don't put the liner in it when you empty it, or you get your own garbage can. I don't know. But, like, communication and conversation, I recommend.
Yeah, I just, like, if you want to fix it, which it sounds like you do, you wrote in for advice. So if you want to, then I would maybe start with an apology. But I don't know, like, for me, it's like, were you even friends? Like, do you even care to repair this relationship? Like, is it just done? I don't know, maybe you could just continue and ride it out until the lease is over.
Yeah, like, I had one of my best friends, Marcus, was my roommate, and we got into these situations where these little things happen, and, you know, he would say these things to me, and then I would snap back about the things that had been driving me nuts, because it's like, I don't appreciate being attacked right now. That's how you feel. That's how human nature is to feel. So we would both do the same thing. I would be telling him, hey man, like, you know, could we work on this? Could we maybe keep this area clean? And he would snap back at me about something that I was doing, and then we would, you know, not talk for a day, and then we come back, and then, like, you know, somebody would apologize, and then it was always like we both apologized together. We're like, yeah, we're sorry too for how I was acting, and this is why. It came back to communication. Mm-hmm. So you have to have that communication, though. Yeah. You know, I could have swore we read another story about period blood being on the toilet seat before, I think during that episode or something. And I was like, that has never happened. You have never left in the 5 years that we have been together. You have never left that on the toilet seat. I've never experienced that or anything.
Wait, didn't that just happen?
But then that just happened like 2 days ago. I remember, like, when we did the story, I was like, wow, it's been like 5 years living together. I've never experienced that. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know. And then 2 days ago, it finally happened for the first time.
I'm sorry.
One little small tiny drop. I didn't get alcohol or anything. I just grabbed toilet paper and wiped it.
I know. It's like,
I guess roommate blood is a little bit different than life partner blood.
I guess. We share fluids.
Share a lot of fluids.
Please. I'm embarrassed.
Yeah. So someone comments on the thread. Honestly, I don't know if it's a maturity. I am 17 and would rather have the ground swallow me alive inch by inch than leave blood, pee, or any other substance on the toilet. I feel like your roommate is inconsiderate and also plain gross. What did she say during the conversation? Was it in person? Also, my petty ass honestly wants to advise you to scream, "Ah! Who left blood on the toilet seat again? This is disgusting! Ah!"
Who did it? The one other person in the apartment.
Now, that's the immaturity in me. In all seriousness, this is super gross, and I really hope you have a chance to sit down again and have a heart-to-heart with her, because I'm pretty sure just leaving blood in the open like that is a tinsy bit of a biohazard. Have you tried leaving things like alcohol or wipes near the toilet so she gets the hint? And then OP responds and says, "Ha ha ha. The thing is, luckily she doesn't do it anymore. I think she got the hint, but it's just frustrating that she is acting like I've insulted her entire bloodline by asking her to clean something. Like, girl, it's okay. Accidents happen. So it's just crazy that she has taken their request so harshly that she doesn't talk to me anymore, as if she's sticking it to me. We're about to leave for summer vacation, and you're right. Maybe I should just sit down with her and ask her what her problem is." Yeah, bro, just communicate, man. Just communicate. Like, I can understand asking, like, what should I do after you've tried to communicate and you're still not getting through with anything? But the first thing you got to do is just try to communicate. Have a sit-down conversation.
And I feel like OP has, but not like a full-on conversation. Like, she's trying to just be, like, nicer to her, like, trying to act like
No, you
normal.
gotta go in with an apology. An apology is like magic. It's like please and thank you. It's like magic little words.
Yeah, to some people. Some people, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Okay.
I just was thinking, if I was in university and I had to write a thesis on something, I would do a thesis on modern magic, which is things evolving around electricity, because electricity is like magic. We can't see it, but it controls everything in our life.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Please move on before I get sidetracked.
Okay. Am I the asshole for getting upset that my boyfriend checks out other women in front of me and fantasizes about his ex?
Totally. Just let him do all those things. That's completely normal.
I 31 female, have been with my boyfriend 30 male for about a year. He got a job in a different state and we agreed that I would follow him, so I found a job as well. I bought a house as I'm in the financial position to do so, with the agreement that he would split the payments with me as rent. But I paid for the deposit, closing costs, etc. myself, as the house is solely in my name. Lately, the recurring theme of our disagreements tends to be his so-called need for variety. We have disagreed when he admitted he masturbates to random girls on Instagram when, quote, I don't fit into his fantasies. And recently, when we were on vacation, he wouldn't stop checking out a girl right in front of me, including stepping aside me to get a better view of her. He said it's just a habit, but he wants to work on it because he can see why I would find it disrespectful. We received an invite for some of his friends that were having a pool party. When I asked if he could promise he would not check out anybody in front of me, it wasn't something he could guarantee 100%, and somehow led to a conversation where he stated that he thinks about and fantasizes about his exes approximately 50% of the time when he masturbates, which he said can usually be 3 to 7 times a day. He says that he thinks of me maybe 30% of these times. Note, this confession was literally the night before we were supposed to move, as in movers hired, trucks rented, etc., so backing out of the move wasn't really an option. He said it's not because he loves them or wants to be with them, that it's just a physical urge. He compared it to sometimes you're in the mood for pizzas or burger or blank ... etc. when trying to describe it. He said they're just thoughts and doesn't mean he doesn't love me or want to be with me, that he would never act on them or anything. It still was so painful to hear, as I rarely think about my exes at all, let alone my sex life with them. Since the move was already underway, I agreed to start couples counseling to help facilitate conversations regarding our issues. Through this process, I have learned that my boyfriend has not only masturbated to random Instagram models or random girls that he doesn't follow, but he also masturbated to nearly every girl he follows on social media, including friends, coworkers, and professional acquaintances, both before and during our relationship, totaling about 150 girls on one social media platform that he still follows. He said that he does not message them and the girls don't know, so it doesn't hurt them. This, along with some other problematic behaviors and thought patterns, have caused our therapist to recommend he be evaluated for a sex addiction and possibly seek treatment for that. I am somebody who wants to be married and have kids in the next several years, but his behavior makes me question if monogamy will ever be enough for him, even if they're just thoughts and fantasies. I'm glad he has been very honest with me and he is getting the help he needs, but I do feel like I am the only reason he is agreeing to get help. If we were to end, I do feel like he would go back to his previous behaviors. If we were to continue dating, I'm afraid that eventually thoughts and fantasies will not be enough and he will eventually act on them or ask for an open relationship. Even if he does get help, though, I'm not sure if I'm at a point where I could trust that he isn't going to fantasize about any new girls he meets at work, social events, or even my friends. I don't know how to navigate getting over this break in our trust. If anybody has been in a similar situation or has some insights, I would appreciate it. Also, I love the podcast. As I'm in between my last job and starting my new one, I've been binge watching and listening to the episodes. It has been a great way to kill time since I don't know anybody in the new town and do not have any family or friends around. Oh, thank you. Thoughts?
I'm fucking disgusted. I want to vomit. I'm creeped out by my own fucking skin. I got the ick. I'm so fucking icked right now. I feel like I'm covered in slime. I want to shower. I'm so fucking disgusted. I can't. Fucking gross. So gross. I wish I read this when she posted it because this was like 3 months ago, but yeah. I just commented like, fucking run. Put your running shoes, put those Nikes on and fucking strap all your clothes to your back and your boxes and fucking run. This dude shouldn't spend another minute with you, another fucking night. Don't let him move into the new house. Just fucking run.
He's a predator.
Even outside of that, like, he's got something mentally fucking wrong with him, man. Like, let me lay it out there for all of you women and men. Fucking learn a lesson here, bro. And women out there, learn a lesson of what men should be like, all right? I do not check out any other women. I do not stalk exes on Instagram. I do not stalk anybody. I do not fantasize about anybody else. I do not jerk off 3 to 7 times a day thinking about my ex. I do not think about anybody else besides the love of my life, Teresa here, all right? I walk down the street and Teresa's like, oh, that girl's got a nice butt. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about because I don't look at women. I've never catcalled a woman in my entire fucking life. I'm walking down the sidewalk and there's someone hot somewhere else. I don't take a second look. If they're in my vision, then they're gone. I don't turn my head and look. I don't look up ahead at their butt. I don't fucking care. There's no point for any of that shit. Even before I met Teresa, if there was no opportunity for me to like meet that woman and like have a connection and like maybe start a conversation before asking for a number, I would never second look at that person. Anybody walking down the street or they're driving their car and they look hot, oh cool, they're gone. Never a second look. Never fucking oogly eyes over anybody in public. Like the boys, we walking down the street, the boys all through high school, college, all this stuff, they'd be like, man, did you guys see that chick? She was so hot. No, bro, I don't give a fuck. We're never going to talk to this girl. I'm never going to see her again. I don't care if she was hot. She doesn't get a second glance from me. Fucking disgusting behavior. Just doubling down on so much fucking disgusting behavior in this stuff. I'm rattled up right now. I'm fucking going off. Like I've been trying to avoid swearing so much. I've been doing so good lately. I am so triggered right now. I want to shower. I don't think I've ever been so grossed out in this kind of situation. Run. They're like, absolutely fucking run.
Enough said. Yes, I agree. And before meeting you, like, I thought that this behavior was normal. So I think it's really great that you are explaining from a perspective of a man what is and what isn't normal, because I think a lot of men are like this in OP's story. But that is not normal. It should not be normal. I think the normal is how you're acting. Like, it's not normal to oogly eye girls or catcall or anything, because that makes them uncomfortable. And 10 times out of 10, those girls are not going to run back or run up to your car and be like, hey, what's your number?
Yeah.
Hey, let's go out on a date. Like that, 10 out of 10 times, that never works.
Never happens.
I never understood that.
You're just a fucking creep.
You're a creep. I never understood what the ultimate goal with that is. Like, is it a way to assert dominance? What is it? Like, is it just like...
It's a dog pissing on the lamppost.
Yeah, like, it's just a way to make women feel uncomfortable. And I'm not saying we are kind of like jumping here, because OP isn't doing that. They're doing it in secrecy.
No. 100,000%. This is a guy that cat calls chicks when he's by himself or with the boys.
Probably.
I fucking guarantee it.
Yeah, probably.
Guarantee it.
Yeah. OP, this is not normal. I know this was 3 months ago. I really hope...
It's only 1 year. You're 30.
Yeah.
Cut your loss. Move the fuck on.
Cut your losses, exactly. Like, this is not something that you can't get over. Like, this is not something that can't be undone. Like, just because you moved in with him, it can still be undone. Like,
yeah, tell him, cool, you love fantasizing about your ex. Well, fantasize about me, because you're my fucking ex now.
Period. I love that. I had hard eyes for you when you were like going off.
I still have the fucking ick. I am disgusted over here.
Yeah,
I'm grossed out.
It is really, truly vile and disgusting behavior. There are a couple edits here that I will... are you good?
I don't know.
Okay. Should I read the edits?
Fuck this therapist. She needs to just advise...
You know, I was thinking that too. Like...
do therapists have to advise you how to fix your couple problems? Or
like,
can she advise the woman that this dude needs to be single? Like, don't stay with him. I feel like the therapist is there to let you know how to fix your problem, but when is it time to cut and run?
Yeah,
when do they advise that?
I was actually thinking that. Like, yes, you're going to couples therapy together, so the goal is to kind of rekindle that relationship, but like, as a therapist, like, you must see, and this probably goes against like their standards and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Imagine.
It's weird.
But yeah, like, it would probably be really hard for a therapist to just like sit through this and like try to help. That's rough. Anyways, I'll read the edits. I have tried to make some friends as I'm in a new city. I expressed to my partner that I was insecure that he could be attracted to somebody I became friends with, and with his history of masturbating to women he knows. I was afraid this would be something that could happen. His response was, well, they wouldn't be as cool as you. And when I asked for clarification what he was really saying, and he asked if he really thought he could be more physically attracted to one of my friends than me, his response was, well, I want to be realistic in our relationship. So that was a low blow and another breaking point.
Another breaking point that's broken. The ice is shattered. It's fucking done. He's drowning in the cold water, or you're drowning. Someone's drowning in cold water.
Another edit. Thank you guys for the support and those who have sent me messages. In couples counseling, our therapist expressed that my partner's behavior was problematic and that he should seek treatment from a CSAT, Certified Sex Addiction Therapist. He made the appointment, but then rescheduled. He says he needs to be off the leash a little, to have the creative outlet of fantasizing these scenarios with other women to feel like himself. His words. When asked if these fantasies were more important than a relationship with me, he said he needed some time to think. So that's where I am now.
Fucking run! I don't understand.
Okay, but babe, it is hard when you are in situations like these. Like,
okay, you're right.
You
Maybe
have
it is.
your,
I don't understand it.
Like, love blindness. Like, what's it called? Like, love blinders.
How can you still have the love blinders on? Every single thing that you've typed it out here. You've typed it out. Every single thing is just like I'm just imagine like the fucking radiation needle going when you're in an area and it's like going like really high, but for like the disgusting needle, the needle just keeps going into the red, man. It's going in the freaking red. I'm fucking disgusted.
It's very disheartening that it is something that he has to think on, but I'm honestly so exhausted of parenting a grown man on how to behave in a relationship and to treat a woman with respect. I've given him books on the matter, found therapists for him, and have tried to be patient through this whole process, but he still says that it's not a problem and other girls would be okay with it, that I need to accept him for who he is. I don't have the capacity to be okay with it, so compromise isn't really an option. He wants us to meet in the middle, but it's like asking, how much can I violate your boundaries and disrespect you before you leave? For example, he offered that he would not jerk off to his exes or my friends' photos. In exchange, he could still look at coworkers and acquaintances, etc. Overall, I feel like the damage to me is irreparable, but I care about him enough to want the best for him. I hope he decides to get help regardless of what happens between us, so he can be a better partner in the future for somebody.
Stop fucking caring. Fuck this guy. I'm so mad right now. I can't.
Okay, final update. After several months of counseling together, I have made the difficult decision to break up with him. I still love him and care about him, but I was really neglecting my mental and physical health. When asked if he preferred fantasizing about girls he knows and his exes over being in a relationship with me, he said he needed time to think. So I said I would make the decision easier for him and that I was done. I'm just so exhausted. I give him 30 days to find new housing. It's hard to see him every day still, but if I can be a friend for him during this time while he is considering getting help, I can put aside my own grief for now. I just want the best for him. Although if he starts trying to date or hooking up with anybody while living in my house, he will have 24 hours to get his shit out of my house before I delete his code off the security system.
Thank God, but why put yourself through months of this stuff? Back to where he said he'll compromise by not jerking off to your friend's photos, like, ew. I can understand like jerking off once a week, once a while, whatever, but like 3 to 7 times a day to photos? Come on, man. Like, I can understand going on some Pornhub, whatever, once in a while, but like, ew. I want a shower. I can't with this. I can't.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you saw the light and have ended things with him.
I wish you saw it sooner.
I know, me too.
Why'd you waste so much time on this creep?
Yeah, I don't know. I do feel like she really cared about him. And I just hope you know that this is not normal.
I hope you find somebody who cares for you in the same way, who's not a total, absolutely disgusting, icky, creepy, sluggish, slimish motherfucker.
I agree. Please give us an update if you have any, because I hope you're living your best life right now. Really.
I want some mouthwash.
Oh my.
I need to brush my teeth. I need to scrub my skin.
All right. How do we move on from that one?
I don't know. I guess I will just start reading the next story I have lined up.
That's all we can do.
Okay. Am I the asshole for not paying my brother back for 24 hours and then getting upset at his response? For some background context, I attended a few therapy sessions where I discovered that my brother is the reason for some of the issues I have today. When he was younger, he also attended anger management classes, which he stopped going to because they didn't help that much. My mom has also said to me in the past that she is at a loss of how to control him / get his behavior in line. So 2 days ago, my male, early 20s, brother, mid 20s, went and bought a birthday present for our mom. I found the gift online, showed it to him, and we decided to get it. The plan was for me to go and buy it, then have him transfer over the money. But something came up last minute, so I couldn't, and I asked him to go. While he was out buying it, I was in a rush to get ready to go out, and was waiting to hear what he got. There is a few different models at different price points of what we were getting. He sent a picture of one, and I said, yes, that's good. And this was around 5 p.m. The reason I didn't send the money was because A, I didn't know his bank details, and B, was unsure if he was going to get anything else. Anyway, the next day at roughly 10 a.m. when I was in class at university, I asked for how much I owed and his details, and he replied straight away. I then replied roughly midday, saying I'll send it through, but not when I'm at university. Monday is my busiest day, and I had back-to-back classes all day. He asked when, and I said roughly 4 p.m., to which he asked why I couldn't do it then. I explained how I was in class and couldn't, which he got very angry about. I then went to the event where I couldn't be on my phone, so I had my phone turned off. It ended up running late to around 6 p.m., even though it usually stops at 4. And when I turned my phone on, it had roughly 10 plus messages, which started out with a please, but then got more angry and 4 missed calls around 2 different apps. I paid him the money as soon as I could at 6 p.m. when I was out of the event, and I told him why I wasn't on my phone / not replying. That night, I went to my mom's and told her what happened, and turned out my brother had already complained to her, so she didn't want to hear what I had to say. Later that night, I turned my data on just as I was about to sleep, since my Wi-Fi hadn't been working, and I saw a group chat with my mom and brother where my brother was bitching about me and telling my mom off for being on my side and messaging me privately, even though she wasn't, because as I said, I wasn't online. There are a few missed calls, and the chat ended with mom saying that she doesn't care and will talk about it later on a different day, a day that's not her birthday. Today at university, while I'm in the library, I text my brother trying to explain what happened, why I wasn't replying, and how I wasn't just ignoring him. He got extremely mad and accused me of lying and not being at the event like I said I was, and then it turned into a massive text fight. I have dinner tonight for mom's birthday, and I'm really nervous that another fight will break out. I wanted to know, am I the asshole for not sending him the money straight away, or is he overreacting? I paid him at 6 p.m. and he had bought the gift at roughly 5 p.m. the day before. I paid him roughly $100. He works full-time, and I work 1.5 days a week while studying full-time, but we split the gift 50-50. He also ended the text fight by saying I should also pay for the ingredients bought for dinner, as he was making dinner for mom's birthday, even though it was his idea to do so.
That's odd. That is very odd. Imagine like offering to like host a dinner and then you have to like give a bill to each guest. Oh, by the way, the turkey was $48 divided 4 ways. Like, no. Why are you shrugging?
I don't know, because at first, and in the first, like in the situation, like at first I was like, okay, like your brother needs to chill out, like it's 24 hours, like, and I start thinking about what I would do in my situations, and like if I owed Madison money, if I owed Cat money, like maybe I forget and I take a week and then I send it, and it's like whatever, eventually it gets there. Maybe I owed the money from the last time I saw them and then I forget, and the next time I see them I'm like, oh my god, I owed you that money from before.
No, and that's fine.
And I send it to them and stuff, and I'm like, and or if they owe me money, like I'm not worried about when I get the money because I'm money comfortable, I guess. So but then maybe I don't know what his financial situation is, because part of me is like, okay, if his financial situation is comfortable, then yeah, he's an asshole. What's his eagerness? What's his urge for all this stuff? You know, it's just principle. You need to send it right away. Okay, then you're being a little bit harsh. But maybe he had to go buy groceries and he didn't have $100 in his bank account because he bought that gift. Then I have the compassion. So that's where I'm like, I don't know.
Then don't be the one to offer to make the purchase. If you are that tight on money and there's 2 of you that are splitting a gift, ask your brother to do it. Ask OP to do it. OP should go and buy the gift then. If you cannot wait 24 hours to get the money paid back, then you should not be the one buying the gift. You should not be spending $100 on your mom.
I would agree with that.
Same thing with the hosting. If you can't afford to make a dinner for your family, don't offer.
Yeah.
No, there is no way that OP is an asshole in this situation at all.
No, I know. I don't feel like OP is an asshole, but then I'm just like, is that my privilege that is making me think he's not an asshole?
I like, as soon as, if I owe my friends or anybody money, like I tend to send them as soon as I can, just because I'm forgetful and I don't want to forget. And I know people won't remind me most of the time, like, because it's just awkward. So I try to send it right away. So that's just me. But
Yeah, I mean, I try to send it right away too, but
He was busy. Like, he was literally busy. Like, it's not like...
No, he was busy.
I don't know what else he could have done. I don't think there's anything he could have done better here. Like,
I agree. I don't trust my take for myself.
I don't know. If we're way off here, please let us know. And
because like I think he's not the asshole, and I whatever. But then I'm just like, hey man, like if I used all my money, I overspent on my gift for my mom because I love my mom so much, and now I overextended myself, and I was really hoping that I was going to be sending the money of what I needed. I wasn't going to be overpaying out of my account, and now my last $100 is gone, and I'm trying to buy groceries.
then say that. Communicate that.
Right, but I'm just like, maybe that's why he's, whatever. I don't know. I at first I'm thinking not the asshole and I'm sticking with it, but then I'm just second guessing, is this my money comfortable privileged position that I sit in over here where I'm like, the money will come when the money comes and I could care less. I don't know. I don't trust myself.
I don't know. I feel like most people, you have to be financially smart if you are not in a position to be buying stuff like this. Like, you can't put it on other people when you're like, if the case is he can't afford his bills the next day, he can't afford groceries the next day, then like that's on him to not make the purchase in the first place.
I think so. I don't.
Yes, I'm sticking by that. And please let us know in the comments if you think we are wrong. We can take it.
I mean, I can.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
A little crybaby. All right, moving on. Are you done?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Am I the asshole if I stop sleeping with my boyfriend? My boyfriend, 24, and I, 21 female, have been dating for 6 months, although it feels much longer as we have known each other for years and have actually dated in the past. So in bed, he always finishes before me and fairly quickly. I do finish sometimes, but not all the time, and it has been about 3 weeks since I last did. I am definitely more sexually out there than him, but I am still happy with vanilla sex because I don't want to push his boundaries and I love him. My issue is that when I brought it up to him today that it has been 3 weeks since I last finished, he brushed it off and said, it's not his fault he finishes quickly and that I have things that I can use, meaning toys. I did tell him that there is other things he can do to get me off before we do the deed, as it ends so quickly. Am I the asshole if I stop sleeping with him altogether? My thinking is, why should I sleep with him if it's only beneficial to him and he's not willing to satisfy me, especially when I can just do it on my own like he suggested. Also, I love you guys. Teehee. Thank you. What? Mom drop off. Zio drop off.
I don't want to be like the one who's like, divorce or break up, but I think you should break up.
Oh, I think...
Not just stop having sex with them. I think you should stop having sex with them and break off your relationship.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I feel like if you're going to stop having sex with them, that's just, you're dooming the relationship anyway. So why not just break up with them at the same point? Like, don't be like, tell your boyfriend, yep, well, we're no longer having sex. No, we're breaking up. It's not, you don't have the relationship without the sex.
I agree.
So if you're not having the sex,
and then it's just going to get petty.
The relationship.
Yeah.
You're going to go down a drama-filled rabbit hole of vendettas and one against the other of everything in your relationship. Nothing is going to be right in your relationship if you guys are not having sex together. Listen, if your dude is a selfish fucking asshole, I guess I'm going off again. If your dude is a selfish, ungrateful person in the relationship and only ever thinks of himself and never thinks of you, then that's his problem. But on the flip side, I really hope your mom dropped off. What if, like, okay, so let's just break this down. She doesn't want to use the vibrator. We're just going to call things as it is. Mm-hmm. She doesn't want to use the vibrator. What she's hinting at is she wants him
oral.
She wants him to eat. She wants him to eat her out before they have sex, which is very healthy. It's a great plan. Love
very
that.
Healthy.
Great plan. Love that plan. Maybe you could ask him why he doesn't want to go down you. Maybe it's a few things. Maybe he doesn't like the feeling. Maybe he doesn't like hairs down there if there is any. Maybe he doesn't like the taste. Maybe he thinks he maybe he only likes to do it right after you've showered or something. Have the conversation of why he doesn't like to perform oral. Are you performing oral on him? Because I like to think that should go both ways. It shouldn't be one side or the other. I was in a relationship in the past where it was only ever me and it was never reciprocated, and that didn't feel good for me.
Okay.
I'm trying to PG-13 this.
Yes. I feel like okay. If for whatever reason he doesn't want to go down on you, he's a pussy ass bitch. But if that is the reason, and he has a reason, whatever, there are other ways he can satisfy you. And I feel like you are not asking for much here. Like,
I will say that it takes two to tango, and
yes.
everybody, both partners should get the O. So
yes.
You guys need to communicate and figure it out together how everybody can get to the O. And one way or another, he should care about your O.
That's the thing.
And if he doesn't care about your
yes.
O, that is a breakup worthy issue.
Exactly. That is the thing. Like, the problem here isn't really that you don't owe every time. It's the fact that you brought it up and he doesn't care.
If he says, oh, you have toys to give you the O, maybe he should take control of the toys. Maybe he should help bring the toys into the situation. Maybe he shouldn't just pump and dump and run.
Exactly. Like, you can always involve these toys
during the act,
yes,
during the session,
to help. So
make it fun.
There are like other paths here that you can go down, that he can go down.
Sounds like he doesn't like to go down.
But no, okay. But not only that, let's just say she's okay with him not wanting to go down or whatever. There are other things that he can do. Like,
well, no, it
like
sounds like she's saying she wants him to go down. She wants him to go downtown.
I think she just more wants.
I feel like
to finish, like,
if there's going to be a healthy relationship, both people need to be willing to go downtown.
Okay, I agree. Top comment. Of course, talk to him again. Let him know your true feelings, that he makes you not want to do it with him because he's being so selfish. Sex is supposed to be about making you and your partner feel satisfied. If he isn't willing to grab that toy or go down on you, then without a doubt, you'll go find it somewhere else one day.
I would agree with that. Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying, guys. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, ish. Yeah, there's better guys out there. Go find them.
Yeah, please. like at the core of the issue, it seems like he doesn't care about your O, and that's a problem.
Yes, exactly.
I care so much about Teresa's O's. Awkward. Okay, back to me.
Yes.
Should I be cautious of someone who treated me horrible now wanting to be my friend? A trigger warning, talks of miscarriage. Hi! Long-time listener, first-time poster. The story goes as the title says, but with some background. My husband, 30 male, and I, 27 female, moved into a neighborhood where his longtime friend and wife lived. We will call them Sam, 31 male, and Kat, 27 female. They were friends with their neighbors, Taylor and Eli. I don't know the ages, but I think around the same age. And Emily and Micah, same ages. Although we liked the other neighbors, we weren't super close with them. My husband and I both work in healthcare, and our hours are not the traditional 9 to 5 as they are for everyone else. I have known Sam and Kat for years, but wasn't very close with them, but my husband and Sam are best friends. When we moved to the neighborhood, I really thought we would become closer, but it truly never happened. A few months after we moved in, we all find out Kat is pregnant. During her pregnancy, Kat is extremely sick. We invite them over for dinner a few times, and she cannot stomach 90% of the food. No big deal. We really don't take any offense to it, but I did stop offering to make her food after a while. Fast forward a bit, and we find out that Kat has had a miscarriage, and that left them both extremely emotional, and she had to be in the hospital for several days. Sam contacts my husband and I after we sent her a few texts saying if she needed anything to please tell us, etc. and tells us that she is not really in the headspace to talk and to just text him. I texted him a few times while at the grocery store or out asking if they wanted me to bring them some takeout or pick up groceries. He always thanked me but declined, stating she is only eating super specific food because of a lot of things that make her sick. Now, a few months after that, my husband hosts a barbecue where he invites all the neighbors. While talking to Emily, she tells me that she makes dinner for Sam and Kat like once a week, to which I respond, I didn't think she would eat anything if I made it for her. I admit that maybe I shouldn't have made this comment, but I was referring to her always being sick from foods. And I'm not sure if this is relevant, but I am Hispanic, not from Mexico though, and they are white, so the food that I make and know how to make is usually very foreign because people in the US aren't usually used to it. Emily later tells Kat I made this comment. Instead of asking me about it, Emily, Taylor, and Kat all start to hang out and do things without me, which I see on social media. I am not from this state and moved here with my husband, so I truthfully don't have a lot of friends here. I point this out to my husband and explain how it kind of hurts my feelings, and he asks Sam about it, to which Sam states that my schedule is all over the place and they never know when I'm available, and I told him that she can text me and see if something's important to her that I will do what I can to change my schedule to hang out with her, but she never does. I see that all three of them are hanging out all the time, and whenever I'd ask her or see her in the neighborhood, she would just ignore me or turn the other way. I finally decided to confront her about it, and she said it was due to the comment that I made to Emily about her not eating my food. I'll admit, I didn't even remember I made this comment because it was in passing, and I didn't give it much thought, but I apologized if it came out wrong and explained to her my reasonings for making the comment. She then says I made no effort to see her after her miscarriage, and Taylor and Emily did. To which I said that her and her husband asked us to give her some space for a bit. She then says she appreciates me doing that, but I still should have made an effort. I told her that if she asked me to give her space, then that's what I'm going to do. In all of this, the three of them start acting really mean towards me, like turning their back when I'm outside, inviting my husband to events but not me, and making passive-aggressive posts on social media. I decide to ignore everything because I don't have the energy for it. Fast forward a few weeks ago, and I get a text from Emily saying she is sorry for the way they treated me and that she has been doing some reflection and realizes they acted like a bunch of mean girls. Her words, not mine. And she apologized several times for specific things. I told her I had no ill will towards her and I appreciate the apology. She started texting more and sending each other reels, to which she asked if I wanted to hang out. I was really hesitant at first, but I decided why not, because people can change. I found out that Kat and Taylor basically started excluding her on stuff as well, and were also treating her badly because of her stating she missed them and that to them she was too clingy. I heard a different side of the story from Sam, who in all of this is still very good friends with my husband. The stories basically match, but it's the way that they're interpreted. Kat and Taylor think she's being too clingy while Emily just wanted to hang out with her friends. I'm not taking sides, but since the two sides I heard are basically the same, I don't really see how Emily did anything wrong. Now here is my dilemma. I'm not sure if I should trust Emily and if her intentions to be my friend are real, or if she is just lonely since her friends ditched her. She told me she realized that they're all being mean to me, and now that they did the exact same thing, she realizes how crappy of a person she was being. I feel bad. I don't want her to feel excluded and isolated like they made me feel, but I'm also wondering if I can really trust her. The whole thing just seems so high schoolish, and not the TS good kind. I'm not sure if I should
love that.
I'm not sure if I should keep pursuing this friendship or if I should keep her at arm's length. Sorry for the long post, but I felt the background was necessary to add. Also, I love your podcast.
that TS comment thrown in there. I love that. A Swiftie. Okay. I guess like my question is, do you actually do you maybe want to be friends with her and you're just scared? Or do you just like not care to mend this relationship? Because if you don't care to mend the relationship, then like you do you. Like, yeah, you were hurt by them and you were burned by them, and it's definitely your choice if you don't want to fix that relationship with them. Like sometimes it's like fool me once, you're done. Like You know what I mean? Like, and that's your choice. That is your choice.
Yeah, no.
You don't have to forgive people who
No,
did you
100%.
wrong.
But I think she wants to. I think she's writing the post because she doesn't have very many friends and she wants to forgive. And me personally, like, I would accept the apology. Like,
I was going to, okay, yes.
I would hang out with Emily. Like, it would be one thing if Emily just started wanting to hang out with me. And then that was it. And then you hear these two sides of the story. But she said she realized that they were being mean girls and she's sorry for how she treated me. And she apologized and she hopes I can forgive her.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah. No, like if you do want to mend the relationship, I think, and I obviously don't know Emily, but I think she is coming from a good place. Like, I don't think she's like trying to be malicious in trying to like mend this relationship with you. So I don't know, like, can you trust her? Like, I guess like you won't really know, but I think you should maybe give her a chance.
I agree.
Yeah, unfortunately, like, you won't know if you can trust her. But it seems like they kind of like iced her out as well, so she knows what it's like, and you guys can like kind of trauma bond maybe.
Trauma bond
Over that. So yeah, I don't like mean girls like this. This is very, very high school and not the good kind.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like it wasn't really Emily that was the mean girl in this situation. It seems like the head of the snake is Kat.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting.
Top comment. I think you can be cautious and still hang out and be friendly. I've been in similar situations, and she was probably always the third wheel. And to you, an outsider, she seemed to be super close to them, but really always just went along with the other two. Once you were gone, they needed someone new to treat like dirt, so they turned to her. Treat it like you were reuniting with someone you haven't seen in years. You hang out and see how it goes. It can just be like 30-minute coffee date. If it was fun, spend more time the next time you hang out. Don't force anything, but it's worth giving a chance. Even admit to her that you are cautious. I'm sure she will appreciate the honesty. It sounds like those other girls are a lot of drama and like to be the center of attention. Don't let them have yours. And OP responds and says, thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think that's actually great advice. Like, you don't have to be besties and, you know, have sleepovers and all the shebang. But yeah, just like maybe dip your toes in the water and see, like, yeah, 30-minute coffee date once a week. And, you know, if things start going well, then like, I don't know, it'll just grow over time.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's some good advice from our listeners. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good one to end on.
All right. Well, that's it. Wow. 50 episodes in the books. r/ThreadTalk podcast. We have 466 members. I hope you guys come over and join us on ThreadTalk podcast. Help us get to 1,000 members. That would be greatly appreciated.
Woohoo.
Just join that subreddit. Tell us your stories and we will we'll bring them up in the future and we'll do more stuff. We got more stories, lots more stories, but you know, we'll bring them over to Patreon for next Patreon episode. That'll be like episode like 25 or something.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we
24.
can't read every single story that's posted on the subreddit.
Yeah.
There are a lot.
It's getting to be a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to filter them into like future themes episode. What should we do for future themes episode? I've been saying we should do an episode called Winter is Coming. But Teresa just doesn't like that idea. So let us know what you guys think. What should the episode be about?
Give some context about that because
I just think it's a good saying and it's good
I mean, it's a good title,
it's
but
good
like
clickbaity. Everybody loves Game of Thrones. I feel like people will see like Winter is Coming and they'll be like, "Oh, I wonder what that's about," and they'll click on it. That's my intent.
Yes, I agree. But what are the stories going to be about?
Stories that happen in winter. You know, snowball fights and you know neighbors arguing over snowmen.
That is lame. That sounds very lame.
It could just be a random no theme episode. It's a no theme title.
Okay.
See, Teresa doesn't like it. So you guys, if you want it, you have to convince Teresa.
I don't think they will.
Other than Teresa, I don't know what she's going to pick. I've got a couple episodes ready to go coming up.
All I know is our Christmas episode is coming.
Yes, we're not sure, but we have put it in the schedule because now we like schedules. This was episode 50. 56. 6 weeks from now, we're going to have our Christmas episode for December 17th.
Be ready.
That's the Christmas. Christmas is coming.
Guys, okay, be honest. Will you judge me? And I take people's opinions to heart, so I need your opinions. Will you judge me if I decorate for Christmas in early November? Please let me know. I mean, this podcast is coming out early November.
It'll be the first November episode. I don't know. No, it's first Tuesday of November. First Tuesday of November.
Yeah, first Tuesday of November. Okay, so let me know if you're going to judge me, because otherwise I'm just going to decorate our living room and leave the den / podcast studio.
I thought we were decorating the podcast studio.
Definitely in December. But I'm decorating the rest of the house in November.
Teresa wants to go all out, and I don't understand. I have the second small Christmas tree that would just go right here, and it would be absolutely perfect. But now she's like, we
can add that too.
We need to replace this tree with a Christmas tree. I don't know where that tree is going to go. And then there needs to be a tree behind me. We don't need two Christmas trees in the den. That just doesn't make sense. We need one in the middle, a nice small one. Boom, perfect. I don't know, babe. I don't know.
That's not even a question. Like, it's literally there's going to be two Christmas trees here. But
stockings. We should get stockings.
Okay. But yeah, will you guys judge me if I decorate in November the studio? Because it's definitely going to be decorated in December. But let me know, because if you guys will hate it, then I'm not gonna
do it.
I'm not gonna do it.
Well,
but yeah.
Yeah.
Any life updates?
I don't know. Make sure you guys smash the like button on YouTube. And if you like YouTube, you can get early access to the episodes to the YouTube members. And Spotify, drop a comment down below. Help us with our Spotify analytics.
And a rating and review. That would be
if you want to drop a 5-star rating on Spotify, thank you. I haven't asked for a rating in like months.
Thank you.
There's been so many of them. They pile it in though. Thank you.
Thank you. And merch.
And merch is live. If you want to support us with some merch, you want to get some Christmas presents or something. Merch
That's perfect.
Live.
Christmas is coming. Yeah, if you know anybody, if your friends listen.
Need a hoodie, need a t-shirt.
Yeah, if you want to get a Christmas gift for yourself, because we gotta love ourselves too.
Little beanie hat.
Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff. And yeah, I honestly, I cannot emphasize this enough. My hoodies, I'm obsessed. I got two hoodies. I got the just regular hoodie, and I got the cropped one, and I got a crew neck.
You got a lot.
Like 3. They're all so soft.
Our ThreadTalk t-shirt already got stolen from us.
Yeah, my friend, unfortunately. She
just came in, snagged it, and was like, I'm keeping this. And I was like, okay.
I'll let you have it, Julie. But yeah, not to toot my own horn, but I think the quality is like pretty good for the hoodies. Like and that's what we wanted. We wanted to make sure that the quality was good, because you've done merch before.
Yeah. I didn't like the hoodies that I got for Denver BMW days.
Yeah, those were shit. But the hoodies are like pretty good quality. They're soft. They're like, they'll keep you warm in the winter. They're thick. I love mine. Can't wait to wear it all winter long.
Speaking of merch, we'll give away another free pillowcase. Yes.
We didn't do that on the Patreon episode yesterday.
No, not the Patreon episode. We'll do it in the next one. But for this one, if you guys want a ThreadTalk pillowcase, sometimes it's okay to be the asshole, you go over to YouTube, drop a comment and say, I want the pillowcase. And while you're there, smash the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. But that way there's a program that will just let me pick a comment from the video. We'll do that in like a couple weeks, because, we filming schedule and everything like that. I want to let the episode be up for like a week before we do it. So yada, yada. But one person will get lucky pillowcase, and we'll drop a comment, we'll get the deets, and we'll send that out to you.
Perfect.
Life update. I went and I visited Madison on Thursday, and I helped babysit baby Andrew, and I came home smelling like a baby. He's so cute. He's like smiling and like laughing at me, and I fed him a bunch of times. I changed his diaper, put him down for a nap. It was great. I'm ready to babysit. I'm like, we're gonna be babysitting at the end of November.
Yep.
It's great.
Big responsibility.
It was exciting. It smelled like a little baby. It was great. It's great. Can't wait for Christmas with baby Andrew.
That baby smell is just
it's addicting.
Unmatched.
It's baby fever, eh?
Nope.
Okay. Let's see. I got nothing else.
My sister just got her maid of honor dress today.
Oh yes, we went shopping.
We went dress shopping, and then we went for brunch. My sister is super freaking picky.
Just throwing her out.
So indecisive.
Sorry, she wasn't sure exactly what kind of dress she wanted.
Because for me, I literally found the wedding dress like instantaneously.
Oh, okay. Because because you are just bing bang boom done and clear. Everybody else around you should have everything sorted out in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
No time for anybody else. Time to go eat food. Time to go for brunch. Food is waiting to make your decision.
Exactly. Anyways, so we went shopping back in August for her bridesmaid. Oh, sorry. I'm not really having a party, bridal party. I'm just doing one maid of honor, which is my sister. Hence, like, small wedding, so. So we went back in August, and she sat on her choices for over 2 months now. So I said it was time. You needed to make a decision today, because I'm not coming back up to Fawn. No, but I didn't rush her, guys, I promise. But no, she actually made the decision all on her own with the help of her boyfriend. And yeah, that's so weddings moving along. We booked our photographer.
Yep.
I don't think we mentioned that.
We still have some other stuff to sort out.
We booked a photographer.
Yep.
I booked my makeup and hair for me and a few girls, and we do have like a couple other things to sort out, like a DJ, videographer, and stuff. But there's not really much to do. Like
little things,
just little things. Like
easy
I don't
peasy.
have to.
I gotta order a suit, a tuxedo.
Yeah, you still got to do that.
I gotta lose some weight first. It's not till May. We're still kind of early right now. I'm working on it. I went to the gym on Monday. It was good. I did legs.
Monday. It is currently Saturday.
Yeah, I meant to go 4 times this week.
Oh, did you?
I did 1. The goal was 4, and I got to 1, so that's progress.
Okay.
So we'll see. Maybe we'll get to 2 next week.
Maybe.
TV show update. I started watching The Expanse.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
No,
it's an update for me.
I started the first episode. It's my 11 o'clock hour, but I got a little tired. I didn't even make it to 12. I got tired at 11:30, and I shut it off. But it's good. Space exploration. They're harvesting ice. That one's good. We finished Gilmore Girls.
Yes, both series.
All the Gilmore Girls. Crazy is good. Got mixed vibes on it. I don't want to get too deep in it.
I didn't love the second series, A Year in the Life.
I liked it. It gave you all the nostalgic stuff. They brought everybody back at least once.
Yeah.
It's funny, though, because Suki, the character Suki, mad famous now.
Yeah.
Way outgrew that show. Where back then, that was like...
That was her debut.
That was basically her debut in that show. But she went on to be like the biggest actor out of all of them there. And she only made it back for like one teeny tiny scene, which I thought was... I wasn't surprised they were even going to get her, which I thought was cool.
Dean was also...
Dean turned into like Mr. Supernatural, but he didn't like... She turned into like a movie star.
Yeah, I guess. She was in
She became an A-list actor.
Yeah.
Dean's not an A-list actor.
I guess.
So
yeah,
that was cool. And now we're on to Tell Me Lies.
Yeah.
Which is really fucking... It's twisted. It's dark. It's twisted.
Yeah.
It's a completely different vibe. Gilmore Girls give me good, cozy vibes.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, you sick fuck. What am I watching? It's like, goddamn.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not like obsessed with it. I've seen TikToks about it. Like people were raving about it. We're only on season 1. I think season 2 seems like it's going to be better because that's... I've just seen the TikToks of like recently.
I just want to watch Lincoln Lawyer.
Yeah, we're going to watch that soon.
I want season 3 of Lincoln Lawyer.
Well, now it's November, so all I'm going to watch is Christmas movies now.
We're like Polar Express, first Christmas movie we're watching.
I don't know if that one's going to be the first
I want to
one.
watch that one because we haven't seen that in a couple
I
years.
definitely want to watch Polar Express.
No, I want to watch it first because we haven't seen it in a couple years. And you want to watch these movies that you watch every single year.
Yeah, duh.
I like watching movies that I haven't seen in a while. I don't like watching the same ones every single year.
You don't need to watch them with me. I will watch them.
I know. Now Call of Duty Black Ops 6 just came out. New Zombies game is here. I'm excited for that. I've been playing. I'm leveling up. Anybody or their boyfriends got Call of Duty Black Ops 6, like drop their usernames down in the comments and I'll add them. And we should start a new segment.
What?
At the very end, after the life update. The life update is the segment at the end of our shows. So if you guys are new, thank you for sticking far this long. We always do like the stories, and then we do life updates for us. We should do ThreadTalk rant.
What? Okay, what's your rant this week?
I fucking hate humans.
Why?
They leave garbage everywhere.
Yeah.
I go for all the walks and there's garbage there, and we walk by the park and
Sorry.
And there's beer bottles and a bag of chips, whatever, just garbage. People can't take their garbage. And I was talking about this with Madison the other day when we went to go get the pizza or the stuff for the pizza when we were hanging out. And we haven't. When do we just keep our garbage? Like I haven't said fuck the world and thrown garbage on the ground since I was 13 or something. I just always carried my garbage. Like my car will be stacked up with garbage until I can empty it. Like I hate people who don't take their garbage and put their garbage in the trash can. Like
I said earlier in the episode, bring back shame, because what the heck?
Yeah.
How do How do you, like, do you just, like, I don't know, you're sitting on a park bench and you leave your freaking Tim's cup? Do you look around to see if anyone's watching you?
Like, shame.
Or do you just, like, not care and just do it?
That's why when people are like, oh, I don't want cameras everywhere. Like, that's an invasion of my privacy. I don't care. Bring the cameras back and automatically find the people that drop litter on the ground.
Shame.
Shame them.
Shame.
Public posting on social media like, hey, do you know this person? He just threw his trash out. We need more. I want to see TikToks of people throwing trash out accountable.
They were doing that actually in the Liberty Village Facebook group chat.
That sounds great. I like that.
Picking up dog's poop.
Oh, yeah. Dog poop too.
Yeah.
I got a soft rant. Stop. I no longer like when dogs are off their leashes outside of the dog park because they're chasing my squirrels.
If you guys follow us on Denver and Teresa Instagram, it's literally just Denver and Teresa.
Every morning, we wake up an hour early. Teresa drags me out of bed. I huff and I puff and I complain and I go for the walk. And the first half of the walk sucks, but I bring peanuts. And on the second, right around the halfway point, we walk through this park that has like 30 squirrels in it. And I had the most squirrel-tastic day yesterday morning. There was so many squirrels.
There were so many squirrels. I fed my first squirrel, guys.
Teresa did. She did.
It was awesome.
Sometimes if you like put your hand low, they'll come right up and they'll grab the nut out of your fingers. Sometimes they don't, so you just chuck it over to them. But like it got to the point where like there were so many that the ones that got their first nuts, they were able to eat through them and come back for seconds because I was still in the same place with all the other ones running towards me. And at one point there was a lady behind me and I looked back and she's like taking pictures of like how close
she was getting swarmed.
She was getting swarmed. They were all around her feet. And then she was like, why are you guys so close to me? Because I had just fed them a bunch of nuts and then walked forward 15 feet and now she's in that same spot and they thought she was gonna feed her. But then people come and they let the dogs off the leash and then the freaking rude dogs, they chase the squirrels and the squirrels have to go up the tree and I don't like it anymore.
Yeah, but that's natural. I don't know, like
I don't like it. Keep your dogs in the dog park. Squirrels will stay at the dog park. Everybody wins. Sounds like a great thing.
Yeah.
I'm giving the side eye to all the owners I see letting the dogs off the leash. You know, if it's like a small dog, sure, no, whatever, you know, like a Frenchie, Corgi, they can't run fast enough or their mouth's not big enough. What is like big German Shepherds or something like that? What if it eats the squirrel? It might. They try to. They always run up close and they nip it. What if it's a slow squirrel? What if he sprained his ankle or something? He couldn't run that fast and he got him. It's not cool. I don't like it.
So in the next place, we're going to have a squirrel camera.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to be out in the middle of nowhere where no squirrels will be, but
really?
I don't think there'll be any squirrels out there.
Why?
I feel like, I don't know.
Isn't that where squirrels hang out, in the middle of nowhere?
I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like a squirrel's only in like urban forests. Like are squirrels out in foresty forests, real forests?
I feel like
I don't know. It's like farmland forest. We don't even have a forest on our property. So they would have to cross fields to get to us. I don't think we're going to see them because they're going to be like, there's no trees over there. We can't go over there.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to adopt squirrels and I'm going to get like a squirrel house with like a live stream camera. I'm going to start a TikTok channel that just live streams a squirrel house. Sometimes you're on the channel and there's live squirrels in there and sometimes there's nothing in there. I'm going to feed them and they'll come and it'll be great. Squirrel house. I also want chipmunks. They're the cute ones.
Denver's in a squirrel era.
But like, guys, the squirrels, like they grab the nut and then they sit up and then they eat the nut and they just look so cute. And there's two of these squirrels. They're brown with like a whole white belly. And the way they put their hands, if you're watching on YouTube, they put their hands in and they're like, can I have a nut? Next Halloween, I'm gonna be a squirrel for Halloween. I'm squirrel man. Yeah. So
perfect.
There's my ThreadTalk rant /life update. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Okay, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.